Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. We are in part 4 of episode 2 in part 1 of the trial. I wonder if this might be... I'd be surprised if there's more investigation after this. But we shall see. We have another testimony from Ron. Mr. Ron Delight. Oh, that's nice. I have today an alcohol-free beer I'm drinking. It's yummy. It's very cold as well, which is nice because it's been warm recently. So yeah, let's get into this. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. After that I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. Let's press on all of this. I was about to save, but then I was like, wait. It's at the very beginning of the episode. Who was this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and even one new, I'd tell you, trust me. His dodging all of our questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then how was the victim Mr. Bullard at the time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. Press. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit. So I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. Poor kid's probably still got a concussion. That. Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my Mask to Mask costume, of course. Oh, wait just a moment. Mask to Mask. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Mask to Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? Ah, my 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Mask to Mask costume. Why were you dressed up as Mask to Mask? Why, because I'm Mask to Mask, of course. Oh, what are you talking about? Mask to Mask's trial is being held next door. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask to Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain. Sorry, big yawns already. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What's he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. The cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. Oh, what was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah.
Inconceivable!
Things are not looking good.
Why? Just why? What reason could you have had? What were you thinking?
Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine?
What?
The answer is simple. When they take them off. I don't think I know where he's going with this. Yeah, me and you both, Judge.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? Ha, so you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the Fairweather Judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. We haven't pressed on this one yet. When you came to? Yes, I was passed out in the corner of the room. You know when your assailant made their escape and to where? I'm afraid I don't really remember. Huh? Once they hit me, I lost all track of what was going on. I think that's when they made their escape. That's certainly a convenient story for you, isn't it?
It certainly is, isn't it, Mr. Wright? It almost sounds practiced.
I don't know what you're telling me. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body.
That certainly makes more sense.
Ugh. Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick. If you think his behaviour was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised.
We'll just
have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. Me too. So I think what we're presenting here is this, the buzzer record.
Objection!
Your Honour, could you please take a look at this record?
And what might this be?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 AM.
What?
If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known. Damn, we are raking Larry Butts over the coals here. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud, there's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Fine, let's hear your theory. Your game theory, wait. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I am willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So, what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight, the one who killed Cain Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ack.
So Cain Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Cain Bullard who sounded the buzzer? The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
A truer statement has never been said. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masty Mask. And Masty Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
Order, order, order!
It would seem. I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavoured coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
It looks like you're fresh out of parlour tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 AM. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. That is a loud buzzer, to be fair. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond.
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then. Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency body?
Emergency body, emergency buzzer. I'm gonna save. To call the security guard because I think they were trying to frame wrong. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes, although as it turned out he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Ah, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? Not at all. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for murder. For the murder, sorry.
Order, order, order.
It would seem. My bread's been buttered. Okay, I've been made to eat my words once again. I was trying to come up with the sort of thing I thought he might say. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take, with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Masty Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
That would be the only person with this silhouette. Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it. He's detective. Luke Atme.
You mean Masty Mask did it?
Your Honour, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Masty Mask at all. He is in actuality the true murderer of Kane Bullard.
Order, order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as Mask to Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. Oh, excuse me. Burping and blaming the beer.
To be found guilty.
Masty Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Masty Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi.
A guilty verdict as an alibi?
You know, it's almost time.
For what?
For Luke Atme's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Dun dun dun.
Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Am I really sure about this? I bet it's only good when your life's the ante.
Mr. Wright, I believe in you.
Mr. Delight.
So, please.
I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this?
Phoenix.
What was that?
Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust.
That voice. It sounds like
Mia.
Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Ha. So that's your answer, huh?
Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand.
Yes, Your Honor. Ooh, it's heating up. October 14th, 11:58 AM, District Court, courtroom number 5.
Well, Sir Detective Atmey. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you've performed splendidly.
These two voices doing them back to back, it's like, oh god.
Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey, you are the one who...
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey. Objection! Close enough. Wait. Don't hand down your verdict yet, please.
Well, well. Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom.
Who's this hoser, eh? Is this guy Canadian? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey.
Accusation? You accuse Mask Demask?
That man is not Mask Demask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? To be continued. Ooh. But we've only been recording for 23 minutes, so we will carry on. It's going to be part 4-2 trial, I think. And this will probably be the end of the trial. We might not get all the way through it, but... October 14th, 12:14 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4.
My sis.
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then she's still alive inside your heart. Nicky boy.
Oh, Ms. Delight.
Is it true that that detective is the real killer?
To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof, or definite proof, but he's the only one who could have done it.
But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atmey want to kill Kane Bullard?
Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof, and it's got to happen sooner rather than later. Phoenix is very much winging it currently. Just flying by the seat of his pants. Riding on a hope and a prayer. What are the other metaphors we could use? Or like... sayings.
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atmey, please take the stand.
Well, well. How do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Look at Me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as mask to mask.
Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
So you continue to insist that you are in fact Mask to Mask?
Of course.
Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 AM, Cain Pollard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks.
I don't think that was a compliment, buddy. Alright, Mr. Outme, the night of the murder, speak. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
The alibi.
I was stealing the urn as Mask to Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well.
Even the great Mask to Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
Okay, Francisco von Karma reincarnated.
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. The alibi. We are going to press on everything. So this photograph is the proof, correct?
Indeed it is.
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask.
That is why I am called Mask to Mask.
But conveniently, that also means that there is no way to tell who this really is.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're saying that this is not in fact Luke Adme, but it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi.
What an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice?
I have had a vision. I'm probably wrong, but I've had a vision, that's why I'm saving. If I'm wrong, if Luke Atme was at KB Security during the murder, then the Mask to Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice. Now remember, you've said that, Mr. Trite, because there's no going back. If you're making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. That penalty is probably boiling hot too. So who is it, Mr. Trite? Who was the accomplice? There are two options in my mind. Unlikely to be Larry Butts. Maybe. But could either be Adrian Andrews or, and I think this is the more likely option, Desiree. Because it says hates criminals and cowards more than anything. And I think she probably found out about her husband's stealing. Because he's not exactly kept it particularly quiet. It was this, but oh, okay. It wasn't that person. Hang on, let's see the text out. That's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Do you have any evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice? Well, the aura that this person has around them is...
If you're going to judge someone by their aura, you'd be right up there as the #1 suspect, Mr. Wright.
Damn. Unc just said we have no aura, for real, for real. I felt a part of my soul wither and die. Let's give it up for now. If Luke Atme was at KB Security during the murder, then the Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake, and there really was an accomplice. But right now I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it.
I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job.
I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point.
That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right?
Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am.
Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Just press on everything. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct?
Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. Objection! You were simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody.
It looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. About the camera that took this photograph.
Oh come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking.
Huh?
You think I altered the timestamp on the photographs, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see.
Yeah, it looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Okay, let's have a look at our evidence. But I think the photo itself is fake, because if we come and have a look at this box, it very clearly has pink paint stains on it. I think we present on this one. I'm gonna save to make sure. But this is my main thought. Oh no. Okay. We maybe have to do that later. Let's present it on this one just in case. No. Hmm.
Objection!
Let's try this again. Oh yeah, he was working at security on the night of the crime. It couldn't be him. Okay, it wasn't that person. Right. Let's go through every piece of evidence we have. Maybe we present the paint. We could also present this. There's also that list. Oh, there's also all sorts of stuff. Let's try the paint on this one. Nope. Okay. Let's try the testimony on this one. No, okay. No, don't save. Load. Right. Let's go through this systematically then. Maybe we present this. We could also present the photo to either this or the previous. So let's try that. I'm just trying to think of ideas here. No, okay. Right, it is time to go through it systematically then. Stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. To be fair, he would write the word purloin. I don't think Ron would. So we could present this to this statement in the fact that it's not actually the urn that is being stolen in that photo. That feels like a long shot. This isn't specifically signed by anyone, either. Yeah, I think that's possibly our next best option. Oh, wrong button. There we go. I'm going to save on this one for a sec. Let's just check the others as well. More than enough time to prepare it as a pathetically easy job. I don't think this is going to be the contradiction. Because I can't think of any reasons or anything that could contradict that. This one. I don't know if it could also be a press again option. Let's just try pressing again on the last two. Oh, this is new text. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is.
Are you implying that this picture is a fake?
You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny?
Either going to be the pink paint or the box. The funny part is right here.
Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. The stain here is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach-coloured at that.
From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. We found it. It was an extra press. Those quite often throw me off. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection!
But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally.
Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why this statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
It's going to be Luke Atme. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme.
Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions?
It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night.
That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue?
The reason for moving the golden statue is where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Master Mask. You create an alibi by showing you were at Lord Lee Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us.
Just where in
this picture does this lie exist? The lie is Masty Mask.
Are you saying that this Masty Mask is a fake?
Ha. You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Masty Mask's identity? Oh, buggers. Your face has "oh buggers" written all over it. That's a penalty for you. Oh. Hang on. Let me go through that again. I thought it was the box. Let's present the paint. And the army face statue. Just gonna save now. In case in my skipping through I don't get to,
Objection!
Right, let's save. On that one. There we go, okay. We're caught up. Oh, yeah, it's the timestamp. Probably. Maybe. Naturally, the line in this photo is the timestamp.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atmey went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordley Taylor at this time. Okay, I think I figured it then.
Oh, but what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was this statue placed besides the warehouse door?
Oh, well.
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atmey had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim, and so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the... Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet.
Oh,
So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atmey must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Oh, right, because a long-tailed cat might get its tail caught under the rocking chair when someone's rocking on it, I guess. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Gwa.
Order, order! Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor, have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Ah.
Order, order! Mr. Goddo, what is the meaning of this? Goddo, I warned about you making me wait. Now put that coffee down.
My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point. So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
Oh, that's very true.
No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes.
If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
The Sacred Urn heist. But I think this is where we're going to finish up. Even though we're quite close to the end of the trial, if I carry on till the end of this trial, I feel like it's going to run very long. Because there could be a couple more like interruptions, and there's still a few pieces of evidence, a fair few pieces of evidence that we haven't used yet. Like we've got the we have the folder with all the items in, or like the list of the items. We've got the paint on the we've got the paint and the box itself, and the fixed urn with pink splotches of paint on it, which I think is going to come in handy. So we've got probably a fair bit more trialing to do. So I'm going to end now, and it probably means that next time I'll finish this case about 15 minutes in, but we'll see. That is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you all again in the next one, where we will probably see the end of this trial. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.